Well, welcome everyone, and thank you again for joining us for today's webinar, where we are going to be exploring the time-saving benefits of our Navigate to Advantage Access for Public Health 101, second edition by Dr. Richard Riegelman. My name is Sophie Teague, and I'm the Senior Marketing Manager for Public Health and Health Administration here at Jones & Bartlett Learning. In a moment, we're going to be hearing from Liam Butler, our Educational Technology Consultant for Public Health. But before we get started, let me just go through a few quick housekeeping items. First off, all of your lines have been muted, and if you could please keep them on mute to minimize background noise so that we can all hear clearly, that would be great. The formal part of the presentation is about 15 to 20 minutes. Following that, we'll have a Q&A session during which you'll have a chance to get your questions answered. If you have a question during the course of the presentation, please feel free to go ahead and type that question right into the chat box located in the lower right-hand side of your WebEx screen. And then I also want to let you know that we have Dr. Riegelman on the line, the author of Public Health 101, and at the end of the session, he's happy to answer any questions you may have related to the content of Public Health 101. Also, the entire session will be recorded, and following the webinar, I'll send around a follow-up email with a link to that recording. And then finally, if you think of any additional questions you'd like to ask me or our presenter, please don't hesitate to email me at any time following the session. So the topic of today's webinar, time savings. As instructors, I'm sure you know better than anyone how much time and effort you spend outside of class, whether it's grading assignments or helping students or planning out each class session. I think the most recent study indicates that for every hour you spend in class, you're spending approximately 3 hours outside of class. So let me for a moment direct your attention to this screen. This is a completed gradebook within the Navigate to Advantage Access for the new second edition of Public Health 101 by Richard Riegelman. Today we're going to be focusing in on the assessment functionality specifically within Navigate 2 and how you can save yourself time by using the many preloaded lesson and ebook quizzes as well as midterm and final exams and practice activities. We will show you how quick and easy it is to assign, customize, and ultimately end up with a completed, exportable, Blackboard compatible gradebook such as this one. So at this point, I am going to hand the reins over to Liam Butler, who is our Educational Technology Consultant for Public Health.
Thank you, Sophie. With all the effort that goes into teaching a class, it is important to know how you can save time. Today I'm going to show you how you can save time with our pre-populated quizzes that automatically report into the gradebook, so you do not have to spend time grading every question. So I'm going to jump out. Into the my demo course. Screen's going to go dark for a moment, and this is going to pull up the demo course. So as you can see, this is the gradebook here in a completed format. So any quiz, test, or exam that is gradable, that is assigned, will automatically report right into the gradebook, as well as any students enrolled in your class will automatically report into the gradebook as well. So with a few clicks of the mouse, you have the ability to assign a quiz, midterm, or final exam to your students. On top of that, we have practice activities already set up in the course for you, so you don't have to go in and assign them. But all you have to do to assign a quiz is come over here to add an activity, and then you'll see here we have the quiz, midterm, and final sections already set up for you. So if we choose quiz, this will bring us to the settings page where we can choose the settings we want, as well as choose what quiz we want to choose. So you just have to give it a name under quiz name. As we scroll down, we have a remediation feature. With review options, we have 3 choices to choose from. After the quiz is closed, which is the default option. That would be when the students can review the test, would be after the close date that you assigned for the quiz, and I'll show you where to do that in a moment. Immediately after the attempt means they can go in and view the results of the quiz as soon as they're done, and never means they would not have the ability to review the test. As we scroll down here under content, this is where you would select one of the pre-populated quizzes, and any quiz that you create yourself would also show up here to select from. Down here under due date, this is where you can go in, and if you choose a due date, this is what will populate in the calendar on the main page. So the due date doesn't restrict access or allow access to the test. It just populates the calendar on the main page. To restrict access to the test, you have the ability down here under restrict access. You can choose from allow access from. So this is the date and time that you want the students to first take the test, and you can future date it. So you can come in here and set up all your quizzes at once if you like, or you can sign them one at a time. It's up to you. And then allow access until, this is the close date. So this would be the last date and time a student would be able to take the test. And this is also what is referring to up top for remediation. If I just scroll up for a moment, after the quiz is closed, would be related to this date and time you choose right here. Once you get all the settings set up, all you have to do is click Save and return the course, and that quiz is set up and assigned for students to take. And once the main page loads up, you'll see the quiz showing up in the course. And then as the instructor, you can preview the quiz as well. And as you can see here, the quiz is is set up for you, so you can go through, make sure all the questions you'd like are set up in there. And then if we, in addition to any chapter quizzes that we've added in, we also have ebook quizzes that we've added directly into the ebook. So if I jump into the ebook, you will see here, this is the first chapter of the ebook. We have knowledge checks and end of chapter quizzes built into the ebook. So as you can see here, we have knowledge checks throughout each section. And then we click on chapter quiz. This will bring us right to the end of chapter quiz. And students have the ability to come in here and click on it and go through the quiz. So just like the main page, the chapter quiz that we set up on the main page, students have the ability to go here. Both the ebook quiz and the end of chapter quiz that you assign on the main page. Now, if we come back in here, if you want to customize any questions or to customize any tests that we have pre-populated, or you want to create your own, all you have to do is come into this Teaching Tools pathway and go into Test Bank. If we go into Manage Items, this is where you have the ability to go into create your own questions or customize questions that we've already created for you. So with Manage Items, once you come in here, you'll see each chapter has its own section of questions to choose from. So if you come in here, you can preview the question by clicking on the Preview button. And then if you want to edit the question, all you have to do is click on Edit. It will tell you right here, this is the question, the same way it would appear in the quiz. And then down here, you have the answer and distractors. The correct answer will have a score of 1. And then you have the ability to change the answer or distractors, or if you want, you can add more choices or remove choices from the question. Once you're done editing the question, just click Save, and it'll go in and save that question for you. If you want to create your own question, all you have to do is come up here to Add, and then you have these 16 different options to choose from. So it ranges from the simple type of multiple choice, short answer, true and false, to more complicated ones like image labeling, drag and drop, and matching, things like that. So you have a lot of options to choose from here. And then if you want to go in and create your own quiz or customize your own quiz from the ones that we have pre-populated, you can come into Manage Assessments. And from here, you'll have the ability to go in and edit the chapter quiz the ebook quiz, that report that's in the ebook, and you can also go in here and edit a practice activity as well. So these are the pre-populated activities that are already set up for you on the main page. You can go in and edit them. So if we go into Chapter Quiz, Chapter 1, click on Edit. This is going to tell you that it's Chapter 1 quiz and that it's a chapter quiz that you can assign on the main page. If we go to Select Items, this is where you can see all the items that are used in that quiz. So if you want to preview a question, just click on Preview, and that question will pop up. If you'd like to add questions into the quiz, all you have to do is click on Add Items, and this will bring us to the item bank. So from here, you can preview questions that you want to add. Once you select the questions you want, all you have to do is check them off. Once you get all the questions you want, just scroll down, click Select, and they're added to the test. If you want to remove questions, all you have to do is check them off and click Delete Item, and it'll remove questions from the test for you. You also have the ability, when you go to Edit a quiz, you can go in here and change the instructions that students would see just before they take the test. You also have the ability to go in here and change instructions or the message students receive once they're done taking the test. And then finally, you do have the ability to come in here under Preferences, and you can change preferences for the test as well. So this is where you would be able to change things like how long the student has to take the test, and if you want to allow multiple attempts on the test. So if we go back into the gradebook, once again, as your students take the quizzes and exams in the course, the grades will automatically populate into the gradebook. If you use Blackboard and utilize the Blackboard Partner Cloud, then the overall course total for each student will report back to Blackboard as well. So that will save you time. If you use Blackboard and you want to use Navigate 2, it will definitely save you time with reporting those grades back for you. You also have the ability to export the grade over here under Export to CSV. So if you want to export it and have it as an Excel spreadsheet or a file you can use with Google Docs, you can easily export that and have it saved as a hard copy. And then finally, you also have the ability to pull up individual results of your student quizzes directly from the gradebook as well. So if we come over here and click on the magnifying glass, this is going to bring us to the grade analysis report. So as you come in here, you'll get some charts and graphs to see how students are doing. And if you come down here and click on one of the questions, you could see the quiz exactly as the student took it. And this is the same view a student would see once they're allowed to go in and review their tests. They can go through and review this as well. So at this time, I'm going to hand it back over to Sophie.
Fabulous, Liam. Thank you so much. Before we open up the line to questions, let me just, I just want to quickly point out that we have 2 Navigate 2 Advantage resources available for the Introductory Public Health course. Of course, Public Health 101, which we just looked at, that published last spring in a 2nd edition and is available now, both the printed book as well as the accompanying Navigate 2 Advantage access. And then we also have Essentials of Public Health, which just this month published in the 3rd edition. And the Navigate 2 resources are nearly ready. They're slated to go live in the next couple of weeks, certainly by the first week of April. A course ID is what you need to get up and running with Navigate, and you can get a course ID by simply reaching out to me or to Liam or your account specialist. Just a simple email will get you we can get you a course ID if you'd like to have trial access to either of these products. So at this point, I'd like to go ahead and I'm going to unmute everyone's line, and you can feel free to remute your line if you prefer, or if you'd like to ask a question, you can go ahead and do that. You can voice it out loud, or if you prefer to use the chat box, you can do that. And then also as a reminder, we're very pleased to have Dick Riegelman on the line. Dr. Riegelman is the author of Public Health 101. So if you have any specific questions related to the content of the book, you can ask Dr. Riegelman directly. So at this point, I'm not seeing any questions on the chat box, but I will give people a few moments. There's a very small group on the line today, but if there are any questions, I will give people a few moments to answer or to ask or to type.
Sophie, would it make some sense? Would it make sense to say, take a look at some of the other features of Navigate 2?
Sure. Are there any in particular you were thinking of?
The interactive lectures, and that would be one.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Liam, could you take the group through the interactive lectures?
Yes, I'd be more than happy to show you the interactive lectures. One moment while I bring my screen back up. One moment, I'm pulling the interactive lectures up. So the interactive lectures are right here. They're called lectures as you go through, and these are automatically built into the course. So you don't have to go in as an instructor and add them into the course. So along with everything you see here from learning objectives between lecture outlines, these are material that's already pre-built for you. So you don't have to spend the time adding those into the course. So we open up the interactive lecture. As you can see with the interactive lecture, it is slide-based. And then I do have the audio turned down on my computer, so you may not be able to hear. But let me see if I could turn it up for a moment.
What does life expectancy data imply about how long you will live, and what that means for your grandmother, who is 82 and in good health?
So as you can see, with the interactive lecture, it is more than just going through and reading items on the screen. It is almost as if someone is lecturing to you, as your students go through it. So what I like about the interactive lecture is it uses different mediums to go through, so students are kept engaged throughout the entire time.
For those of you who are using flipped classroom structures, the interactive lectures are an excellent way for students to prepare for class and give you time to do things like the case studies that are included after each section of the book.
Was there any other questions or any other features that you want to go over with Navigate 2?
Well, it looks like that's all we have for questions. I'm not seeing anything coming through on the chat box. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the session. As a reminder, you can feel free to reach out to me, to Liam, or your account rep directly. And let me just put up on screen the account rep information. And of course, if whether you'd like a trial access or a course ID, or if you'd like a personalized demo, or if you just have further questions, feel free to contact your account rep, and I will follow up in a separate email with my own email address as well as Liam's address. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and end the session. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.